All right, what's going on? Welcome, everyone. It is Friday. Welcome back to the Unconventional Mindset. My name's Odum, and what we're doing here today, of course, if you're new, you haven't seen this live stream before, is we're working every day to build ourselves a business that's going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. That's what we're working towards. And again, of course, sound like a broken record. Last year, we made 100K. This year, the plan is to make 250K. So then maybe 2025, we can hit that 7-figure mark. Anyways, but before we get to that, we need products. And what we're doing is we have started building Pixel Pieces. We actually launched it, kind of a soft launch, which is our Webflow template and component library, just an application where people can come in, where they can get Webflow components, cut and paste them, add them to the project, build websites faster. Everyone's happy. Yeah, and that's the application. And one thing that we're building with that is a template for a membership website. So if somebody wants to build a membership website within Webflow, they can just use this template and then have at it. And the reason why we're building this template is because I myself am building a membership site for the Unconventional Mindset, which is kind of this whole stream, this whole documenting the process of building $1 million company. And I want to put that into a membership website. So it's kind of like two birds with one stone, I guess. We're going to create our template, and then from there, we're going to use that to build out our membership website. So yesterday, what did we do yesterday? We made this sketch, which was a very brief, I don't even know what you want to call this, almost like a little bit of a flow diagram, but a very poor one at that, outlining all the different pages that we need for our membership website. So we have our home page, we have our about page, we have the join page or the membership page where you can kind of see all the details. It's kind of almost like a pricing page basically. And then within the home page, there's going to be different collection items. So a list of blog posts or video posts, audio posts, whatever the case may be. Some more information kind of like about whatever the case may be, like the hero section, all that. Didn't kind of add that here. Join the call to action button. And then you have the individual collection pages. So you have a page for all the blog posts go, all the video posts, et cetera. And then you drill down into the actual post page. My cursor is really not very visible here. Sorry about that. Then you have an about page. You have the join page. And then you have the portal section where you have the sign up, sign in, and then of course any kind of password reset pages that are needed. And then we have the actual membership area. We need an account page where the user can update their subscription, cancel, whatever the case may be, subscribe to different newsletters, and then a dashboard page, which just has CMS collections of all the different things that are going to be available to the user as a member. So members only access to whatever information. And if there's Zoom pages, podcasts, maybe different items to download, whatever the case may be, it's going to be here. And maybe we're thinking about building like a notifications system or announcement where something that pops up where the user can dismiss or something like that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then within the gated content, have some kind of excerpt that says, in order to continue reading, you need to, be a member or a subscriber or whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's what we're going to start wireframing up in Figma. Now, if you guys know me, I am not much of a Figma guy at all. In any way whatsoever. Oh, hang on a second. I got an email here coming in. Okay. So I just got an email from, I don't know if you guys remember, a few months ago, we were doing some stuff on the Lean Canvas about validating or starting a business and kind of putting a proposal together. I did that through some startup here in Atlanta, Canada. And I moved forward and I got accepted into the next program, which is the validation program. So that's starting next week. So that's going to be interesting. So we're probably going to have some interesting things to talk about as I move through that program in terms of validating Pixel Pieces and where Pixel Pieces is going to go in the future. So there might be some really good the stuff that's going to come from there. Anyways, I'll look at that email later. But yeah, what was I talking about before? There's a few things here I just need to close down. So talking about Figma. So yeah, I'm not a Figma guy. I don't know Figma very well. I remember I can open up this document here. This is where we kind of designed. See, I don't even know the keys here to zoom in. So we kind of use this to design the homepage initially, which is looking, I think we're pretty comparable to what we ended up with. If we go to pixel pieces, so we're pretty close. I need to fix this homepage here. And these animations are not working for here anymore. I got to figure out what happened to those. Anyways, so yeah, we're pretty close to what we designed here. Anyways, the point being is I'm not very good at Figma, but I guess we can learn. And we'll close that. And we basically need to make another project. So let's learn to go. Oh, one thing that I did want to show you guys is I know within Figma, I could go ahead and I could buy certain wireframe kits that have stuff that are kind of pre-made or what have you. Ooh, this one actually looks really, look at this one, $100, 1,000 plus components. It's got all kinds of components. Yeah, you can just drag and drop stuff. So I think what I want to do though, instead of doing this, because I want to learn how to do these things as well. Not that I want to become a Figma pro by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't. But I still want to get used enough to the tool so that I feel comfortable in it. So we'll just build our own stuff. And we might have to end up paying for something too. Because we're still on the free plan. And I think that's pretty limited. But anyways, so what is this going to be? This is going to be... we're going to call it member flow, right? Okay, so now I think how things work is things work in like screens, right? Where we want to like add a screen. Where do you do that from? Yeah, see, this is this is what I'm telling you. I'm not a Figma guy. Well, it's here somewhere. Is it section? Is it create a frame? Rectangle. I think it's create a frame. Yeah. So we're gonna create a frame. We're gonna do this for just desktop, is I think what we want to focus on. And then we'll do all the other ones later, if we're going to even do it. I don't know. I don't know if we want to get that involved, but again, I usually have that in my mind. Okay, so we have desktop or wireframe. What's the difference? I don't know. Let's go desktop. Okay, so we're going to call this home. Okay, so on our home page, and I think what we can do, yeah, we can drag it and make it whatever size we want. Cool. Okay, and we want to create, I think it was called resources. I know there's a way to create things that are duplicated. I totally can't remember this at all. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Okay. So what's our font going to be like? Is there like a default font? Is there like a text? Is there like a preferences? Maybe there's a preference. Theme. I just wonder if there's a default like text size or text type. Oh, what just happened? Oh, I just clicked out. Okay. Anyways, let's we basically want to make, let's start off very quick here with our hero section, or header. So I'll start off with our logo. Very, very simple here. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay, and how are we going to do this? I think we're going to keep this one pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So we need a navigation. Again, let's go default font size. Where are you? And maybe normal font size. We align these things. All right. And then maybe an about page. And geez. Be consistent. And home, about, and the different things, right? So it's going to have like a podcast. Copy, paste. Video series. Maybe we'll just call it video for now. And then now we want to make like a button. I totally forgot there was a good way of doing a button that someone showed me how to do. Let's open up the other one to see if we can. It's in this header thing. It's in this portal. It's in a button. Ugh, I can't remember. I can't remember. That's okay. We'll work something out. Because let's make a rectangle. And we're going to see membership. Yeah, simple. Except let's get a nicer color here. A nicer gray. Undo that. So this thing here, Control Shift G to group, Control G to group. Okay. So this is that's a button. There's some. Yeah, I can't. There's some cool way that someone showed me how to do to make buttons, and I can't remember what it is, but so that's okay. So what can we do to make this as like an object? Is it? Yeah, to make it a component. create component. So if we create component of button, so let me just put this in here and then say we have component button. I want to have another one. And within this one, I should be able to, what can I do with it? I can update the text, right? Except it's not centered. So and what we want to do is center everything. Not to there, but we need to center it to the actual, like to itself, right? Oh, what did I do? No, still not. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, there we go. So now it's centered. I guess to this though. Button background. Okay. I think that's looking good. Right, and we want to be able to center everything here, right? So that's the question of how much padding to put on the sides. I guess it doesn't really matter. We can just do this. We can just group this as the header, and we can just align that, right? That works. And maybe we could just move everything one more pixel, 2 more pixels, 1, 2. There, so it's 1160 in center. Okay, there we go. And always make sure we and go back here. Okay, so what I want, I think, for this will be really good to really showcase for a membership site. I'm just trying to think of the hero section. You want to be able to showcase who the person is. So that's either going to be with a video or a really prominent image of the person. So I think what we can do is we need to create a new group. How do you create a group? Can you create a group? Maybe once we start doing stuff, we'll create a group. So maybe let's create a rectangle. Well, what is this place image? Ooh. There was something in here with the plugins. What did I have? Right, Unsplash. Or is it content reel? Right, I want to look for an avatar. And it just fits right into there, eh? Or not even an avatar, but just... it just fits in, eh? Like what if you, oh, okay, so it is going to respond, which is nice. Oh boy. Undo. Oh, it's going to undo everything. Okay, so what am I thinking here? So I'm definitely thinking about, you know, hey, you know, my name is whatever, come join this really exciting whatever membership website. So maybe I shouldn't worry too much about having an actual dummy image, but I can just throw that in here. And then put in the text. Maybe that'll be enough. Okay, so 1 second. Can you do different types of text? Like, can you do headings? How do you do headings? Or do you just call it? You just call it a heading, like H1. That's what I kind of did there. Welcome to Memberflow. Premium membership template to create your next community. Actually, hang on a second. Maybe I shouldn't. Oh. Yeah, it's going to do it by itself. Okay. Let's see what to do with this guy. Oh. Okay, we need to center this whole thing. Yeah, I'm really thinking about how you might want to do this membership homepage. Again, I can't think too much of the design aspect of this here. But I'm thinking of having like a play button right here. Where you can see like a video will pop up. Where you can watch. Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, or maybe. Yeah, Okay. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Okay, here we're going to have. Oh, don't rotate. I just deleted it. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. So this here is a video. So we also need to say video placeholder. So we need to create a triangle. How do you make a triangle in this thing? Probably a polygon. There we go. And now I guess we just need to rotate it. There we go. Yeah, something like that. And actually, I want to copy, paste that. I want to rotate it ever so slightly. Where's the degrees? Oh, right here. Sorry, what was it before? Minus 90. Minus, say, 87. Bring this below. And we're going to make it white. How do we make it white? It is white. All right, something. Something simple like that. And this color is horrible. If it's a play button, should it be more on the red? For video. Why am I being so picky? Just for a silly... just for a silly play button. I don't know. It's just me. It's got to be good. Got to be good. Got to be perfect. Okay. Play button. Play button. Shadow. Control G. Play, and then we'll just say hero video. Okay. And we're going to have two call to actions here. Oh, wait. So we need a button. that is learn more. Actually, we should actually call this thing something else instead of the actual text. Just button text. And we're going to have... Oh, I turned this into a vector somehow. I didn't mean to do that. Hey, Rolando. Nice to see you. Happy Friday. Welcome, welcome. Just coming in. The design looks very cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we're doing very simple. This is not even really design. This is just wireframing stuff up. So we're just laying out the wireframes. We're going to create every page, and then we'll get to the actual design of the site, which will be interesting. So looking forward to that. But I do think a lot of the, well, I don't know for the templates how designed they're going to be, or if they're going to be very minimal on pixel pieces when we put them up there. I'm not sure. I can see things going both ways. I can see somebody who's a designer themselves just wants to take the whole framework and have something ready to go that they can just put their own skin on it. Or I could see it where someone just wants, I want to have my own membership site. Oh, look, it's already pretty much ready to go. It's designed really, really nice, and I could just run with it. I'll do that. So I'm not sure. So I don't like how this thing, I changed this into a vector, which is weird. So I'm just gonna redo that one because it shouldn't be vector, because then I can't change anything with it. Welcome to member flow, a premium membership template to create your next community. Okay. So we were, I can't remember what we were, maybe something like 40. Probably bold. That looks about right. So let's delete that. And let's take, something like that. And snap that and center it. So you don't like the button where I'm putting it below the H1. I think it would look better below the video area because it takes away the focus of the video and the text. Let me show you what I'm thinking, and then you could let me know. I think it could go, yeah. I think it could definitely go either way. But here, let me just finish it off here because I didn't quite finish. And then we could definitely pick. Okay, so the idea here would basically be there's this button here of learn more, but we also need to create, this is the reverse button here, where it's join community or whatever it's going to be called. Yeah, see, I can't make this any bigger because it's a set button. All right, let me see what I can do here. And then give me one. Let me just copy one of these, paste it here. Join community. And this button will be a reverse button. And we'll give it a stroke of 1. And whatever this color is going to be, which is very pale. I know. We'll fix that. Actually, let's fix that right now. Where is this? That's this here. Something like that. Oh, that's not going to work. So This is really hard to see. Maybe we could even make it this color. Doesn't matter what the color is for now. Okay, so something like this. So the idea, Rolando, is why I'd want to keep it, where my instinct is telling me to keep it here, is because while the video is important, because I know for me, I'm going to have a quick, hey, welcome to Unconventional Mindset. You know, you want to join? Thank you so much. Blah, 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 blah. These are the benefits, whatever the case may be. You know, a quick 30-second, 60-second video. But having these buttons here, because not everyone watches a video, and I think the call to action is more important than the video at the start. I mean, I could be wrong, but I know for me, that's something that I would want to beta test, or split test would be, or A/B test, I guess would be the word, would be to do it both ways, to have your, what do I want to do here? You have these two buttons, bring them down here, and then have the video right up here. And then the question is, which one performs better? And I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure which one's going to perform better. My gut, from my experience, is telling me this would perform better because this is what people are used to. All that being said, there's a very easy fix for this, which would be to do something like this, where, I want to left justify everything here, and do something like this, and then you make this smaller and put it aside here. Again, obviously, the proportions here are wrong. This are way off, but something like this here. Do you think people are going to join a paid community without first knowing what it offers? No, of course not. Of course not. People aren't just going to join as soon as they first hit a site. I'll give you an idea of like a website that I know that I'm thinking of off the top of my head. So not these guys. So here's the future. Here's an online community where you can join their course to learn about whatever, how to be a designer and whatever. So again, you have your big hero section here, and then shop the courses, the mission, and then a nice video that, introduces Christo and whatever the future is. So I think if this website here had this video up top, would it work? Well, yes, I think it would still work. Yes, people would watch it. But to be able to click here and see like your mission and just go right away to shop the courses, I don't know. I feel like this works really well. Then you go down here and then you can like choose your courses or whatever the hell it is that you want. I guess that's the idea that is kind of driving what I'm thinking here. So yeah, no, of course people aren't going to join a paid community without knowing what it offers first. Which is why for those people that don't watch videos, because there are people that won't bother to watch a video, they can at least click the button here to learn more of what it's all about or whatever the case may be. So yeah. And this is the thing too, where you have a template, you can easily rework the pieces to fit however it makes sense for you, right? Like you can take these and move them around and do whatever it is that you want with it. So I want to undo that, making this one really big or smaller. Yeah, okay. So all that being said, because one thing one thing to think about as well too is not everybody who's going to be using yeah. That's the reason why we normally see templates or buy them, to stop wrecking our brains thinking. And yeah, just having different versions of it as well too. I could easily see a template, like if for this member flow template, to create 2 or 3 different versions and variations of the homepage. I've actually seen a lot of templates that do that, where they have different versions of a page so that the user doesn't have to think so much about what they want to do, but can just kind of try out things and figure out what feels right for them. So I think the idea could be, just thinking now as we're talking, to maybe do that and just create a few different versions, especially of the hero section. Everything else should be pretty standard, but the hero section, we might want to create different versions. So let's do that. Let's create a couple different versions. So this is the hero video, and we want to call this is the alternate button, I guess. Button alternate. Just a better word for that. But I can't remember now. Button like reverse? Maybe we'll just call it reverse. Oh, we'll just do alternate. Whatever. And we'll put this in a group. We'll do this call to action button group. And let's center that. All right. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. You know, another way, well, yeah, there's so many different ways you could do like little hero sections. I'm just thinking of maybe adding just a little, one of these buttons could be watch video as opposed to, learn more or whatever. And then you just kind of have the introductory text. Yeah. Let's just copy this real quick. And we'll do this home alternate 1. So basically what we can do, we move, why is it doing it for both? Oh, that was weird. I must have somehow selected both. I don't know how I did that. So we move that up, move our call to action. Again, this is just a wireframe, so I don't have to worry too much about how things are looking here. Yeah, that doesn't look too bad either. And whoop, what happened there? Okay, you can go back. Down a little bit. Yeah. So now we can pick and choose. And there's other ones here that I know I want to do, but we'll just keep that for now. Okay, so let's go back to the original one here. And I think what we want to do, it switched places. That's annoying. Okay. All right. Whenever you make a copy, the copied one goes on the layer above. Home alternate. Yeah, so the questions, the point of this hero section, the objective would be to clearly define what this website is, so people know exactly what it is that they can expect. So what they expect is that it's some kind of membership site. Of course, the text here, of course, is just dummy text because it's welcome to Memberflow, premium membership template, blah, 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 to create your next community. So it really is going to depend on what the user is going to want to say. But what do I want the user to focus on? The video for this particular iteration, and the call to action for learning more about what this community has to offer. So what is that? What's the purpose? What's the objective? What do you want the user to focus on? And what do you want the user to do? Obviously, click on one of the three things. Watch the video, or join the community right away, or read more about what the community has to offer. So those three things, which is why there's basically 3 call to actions on this page. So those are the 3 things, and hopefully that answers the question appropriately, and then the user will have something to go with this. And yeah. So again, I mean, I could juxtapose it for a little bit for what we have right now. I mean, this is our membership site that we have right now, which is going to get kind of rolled into what we're doing here with the unconventional mindset. But yeah, I mean, what do we want people to do? Listen to the podcast. It's right there. Boom. Just go right ahead. And then there's a membership right here as well too. So yeah, I mean, this was very, very, very simple, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, I'll keep plugging away here. So that's the hero section. So let's move on to everything else. So again, let's check out our amazing sketch we did yesterday. CMS items, blog, video, and audio. Right. So it'd be different things. And also we want to have potentially a subscribe section as well too. Okay, so we are going to create a new section. Actually, let's group this a little bit better. In fact, let's group all of this here into the hero section. Hero, welcome message, call to action, and then the buttons. I'm in the wrong place again. There we go. And here's where I want. Close this. Header, yeah, no. This thing. This. This is into the hero section. Okay. So this is from the blog. And this is going to be the blog section. I'm going to line this up from right there. Let me see if you understand or understood. You want to present the service, and the user is interested in knowing more about the service, and they see the explanatory page of the service. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much of a service, but more of, in this case, it's more of an offering of like what it is that this membership website, like what it is and what it does and who it's for. So, yeah, it's more of an understanding of what the community is. So, but I guess if it was service-based, it's like, yeah, understanding more of what it is that you're doing. So if it was a web design company, it'd be like, oh, okay, find out more about what you do. Okay, what do you do? Oh, I do user experience. I do web design. I do, I don't know, whatever, copywriting, like whatever the different things you would do. So this would be what would be the offerings of a membership community. It's like, oh, well, we have weekly group chats, and then you get access to these resources that aren't available. You get access to whatever, 50% discounts from our shop, like whatever the case may be. So that information would kind of be where you'd want the user to go initially to learn more about what they get. From the blog. Right, we want to maybe just increase this. No, it's not interrupting at all. I mean, this is the whole point of why I live stream, is so I can interact with people. So it's not interrupting at all. I love the chat. I love the conversation. So keep it coming. You know, it's usually, you know, when I don't live stream, that's when I kind of get into really in-depth kind of focus work. So this is great where I can work and kind of talk at the same time, and it helps keep me honest and keeps me thinking on my toes, right? If people are, you know, challenging me, like, hey, did you think about this? Did you think about that? And then, you know, that's where you get the best work. So keep it coming. Keep it coming. Because I don't listen to any music. I don't even know why I have these headphones on. I guess I can hear myself, so I can monitor my audio. But I remember at the start when I first started live streaming, I was playing music for the most part because nobody was watching my streams because I was just starting out. And so I'd just be talking to myself. So I'm like, oh, I might as well listen to music. But then I had a comment of someone was like, oh, I wanted to listen to your stream, but you were playing music and I couldn't take it. So I just skipped. So think about not playing music. So I'm like, yeah, that actually sounds like a good idea. Because if people just want to, for whatever reason, if they just want to play this video and listen to it while they're doing work or whatever the case may be, then having music in the background is totally distracting. And I totally took that comment to heart. So I don't listen to music. Unless I can figure out a way to pipe music into my headphones and also listen to the stream, but then not send it to you guys as well too on the stream, like a mix minus kind of thing. I have to figure that out. Okay, so we got a from the blog section, which is going to be a very simple from the blog section. So what do we need here? We need, maybe let's make it 300 by, can we actually, oh, we can constrain it right here. Let's go 300, whoops. Actually, let's go, yeah, 300 is good. 300 by, let's say 250. No, let's go 200. And fill this color. Okay. So again, we have this is the title for a blog post that is really cool. I wonder even if I should not even have this be text and have it be as placeholder blobs. No, text is fine. Text is fine. So we want to keep this at the same size. Go left and bring this up a little bit more. And then actually we might want to have, can we draw a circle? We certainly can draw a circle. And let's actually put in an avatar here. Okay. That's done. Oh, whatever. I'll just throw in my name. Well, I don't want to throw in my name because it doesn't look like me. Or maybe it does. I don't know. Mr. Author. Let's see. No, I want it 18. Bold. Again, we're not designing here. We're just playing around. So don't spend too much time here. All right. Not bold, just normal here. This is a structure you use for your home pages. Another variant in general. Yeah, so hero section, problem, solution, benefits, testimonials, features, frequently asked questions, and call to action. That's pretty good. I have a question for you. Have you ever done any kind of A/B testing on this structure to figure out what is the best position, what's the best placements for these specific sections? The reason I ask that is because would you find that, again, I know this is very general structure, so I don't want to read too much into this, that if you save your call to action all the way at the bottom, could you potentially miss out on getting better conversions if you had the call to action sprinkled out in other areas throughout? Like if you do the problem solution section, and then with the solution, it's like, click here to call us to book your solution kind of thing. Just a question there. But that's it seems very, very, it's pretty standard. And I like it. It's really good. The one thing that I would say, I think it depends too on the site, because social proof and testimonials, having that way up at the top could be pretty beneficial. And I'll just showcase one site here. Again, everyone's different. There's so many different websites out there that are really cool. So I use Hey for email. I think I might be logged in. And so these guys here, if you look at what they have, they're just an email alternative to Gmail or whatever the hell it is. They're like, hey, we fixed it. Boom, you got the video right here at the bottom. You have your call to action right here for try Hey. And then they get right into the social proof for having their testimonials, which is really, really cool. And I think that's a really neat idea to just jump right into what other people are saying and get that good social proof. Because, I don't know, like if other people are using something, then that's pretty good. And then they get into the features of what you actually have. And then, just, I don't know, whatever this is. Which is pretty cool. But anyways, it's, I think a lot of landing pages, especially if you're starting to generate some traffic and you're starting to generate some revenue, then I think you can really start playing around with what could you do to optimize that. And again, you can take a look at your sales funnel and your whole thing and say, what can we do to make this better? And I think for me, I think that's one thing that we're probably, like, I'm really looking forward to the point where, say Pixel Pieces is getting, 1 or 2 new customers every week or a day or whatever the case may be, that we're getting that consistent traffic. And then we can sit down together and we can be like, hey, here's the website here. And like, here's our funnel. And we have all these different ideas of how we think we could do things better. So let's test this out. Because I think that's the one thing that when you actually have a website that's getting good traction and getting good data, you can really figure out how to use that to your advantage. It's easy to say what we could do for a website that has 0 visitors, and we could argue till we're blue in the face about what's better. But at the end of the day, we don't really know until we actually launch it and then go from there. Because I think little tweaks of, do we put this one ahead of this one? I think at the end of the day, it's not really going to matter in terms of that's not why we don't have 10,000 people joining our site right now. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm hoping we can really start getting into those in-depth conversations once Pixel Pieces starts to pick up steam, once I start doing marketing for it and growing, and we'll steadily be able to put all the stuff that, that we're talking about into practice, which is going to be really, really cool. So anyways, a little bit of a side there, but yeah, it's the stuff that's really, really cool. But unfortunately, it's very difficult to test without actually really having a good audience base to test it on. So yeah. So you're saying here, the call to action you talk about is a structure in a dedicated section. Yeah. But at the end of almost every section, I put some hidden. Yeah. Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Yeah. So I think I know what you're saying. Like the big call to action, like on the bottom of a page, which I think we just saw. Like you just saw that here. Well, this actually isn't a call to action, but I guess it would be something like this, where there's be a big button here, which is like join now, which this guy doesn't have it, but I think that's what you're referring to. But then other little ones too, of like just perform this specific action. Oh, you read that? Well, maybe this will be really interesting as well too, which is awesome. All right, on. Okay, so right, so I'm just thinking again too that this isn't a design, so I can't get bogged down into the little nitty gritty stuff for here. Okay, so this is blog author. Throw this in there. Avatar, author and date. I think, how do we center everything inside it? That's what I want to do. It's like all this stuff here. I guess if we just do this, does that center? It does, but it's a little bit off. Or is that just because of the font? That looks better to my eyes, but that's okay. Again, this isn't a design. This is not a design. This is not a design. I have to keep repeating this. From the blog. And blog title right here. Okay. And then we have, can we generate some lorem ipsum in here? I know there's a shortcut key to open this. I can't remember what it is. So generate some text. So I can right here. Please select layer, and it's gone. There we go. Cool. Not V like that, but V isn't like select this layer. Okay, let's go down to 16. Normal. Put it here. And then maybe a dot, dot, dot. And then we are going to insert a button. Read more. Something like that. Let's align everything here nicely. That was text align, I actually want, there we go. Oh, not quite. Because that one wasn't in. Image placeholder. Okay. One last suggestion. Keep them coming. Not the last one. Just the last one in the next 2 minutes. I'm going to make one last suggestion that I just saw this morning on an item page for Bricks Builder. Create your pixel pieces elements as Figma elements and use them to create the page. This way you can kill two birds with one stone. You create the template and show how easy it is to create with pixel pieces elements. So, sorry, I'm just trying to follow what you're saying here. You're saying that I actually create the components that I'm going to be having on the component library in pixel pieces, create them within Figma, and then transfer them from Figma to Webflow with whatever that plugin is. And then, okay. Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I think what you're saying is, let me see if this is correct. That what I should do is, when I'm going to build out this thing in Webflow, build out the components first, like have them built in Webflow or whatever it is. And then when I go to create it, I'll just cut and paste all the components from within pixel pieces. And then it's like, hey, see how easy it is to build a full-blown website with pixel pieces. Is that what you mean? Is there a link to, yeah, you can, yes, you can send me an email or you can send me something on Twitter. If you're on Twitter, yeah, which one works for you? Twitter or email? I guess that's going to be the two easiest ones. So if it's email, you could email me there. I just posted it in the chat. Or on Twitter, that's my handle on Twitter. So one of those would work. So let me know what makes the most sense for you. Yeah, no worries at all. Yeah, I know English isn't your first language, so my kids and my wife have started. Well, my wife has started to teaching the kids Spanish, and yeah, I mean she's learning too, and I need to learn as well too. I do know French, so I think I do have a little bit of a head start, because there are some similarities with French and Spanish. But anyways, yeah, so they're learning. So I start saying a couple words today in Spanish, which is funny. So yeah, because we definitely need to learn because well, like I was saying before, I plan to be going down south sometime, hopefully sooner rather than later. But anyways, that's a story for another day. Okay, let's get back to work there until we wait for that info here. Ooh, this is a nice email that I just got. Oh, that is excellent. That is excellent. Sorry, hang on a second. I have to take a look at this thing because this is awesome. Let's go to downloads. Where's my downloads? Okay. Effective January. Effective January 27th. Oh, I think just the dates are wrong. Sorry, I just got a new contract for Pixel, which is super exciting. Yeah, super exciting. I just got a contract for $30,000, so that's awesome. Wait, do I have a? No, that's not it. I had something. Yeah. Hey, a little celebration. Cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's a good chunk of money. So I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. Awesome. Okay, sorry, totally distracted. So you sent me an email and okay, screener. There we go. Okay, let's take a look at this.
Hey, this is Brent.
Okay, so share my screen. Okay. So Bricks Maven, jumpstart your Bricks Builder project, part 1, intro and Figma file. Okay. Teach you how to get those types of contracts. This one has cultivated relationships for a long time, and doing a lot of good work for them, and then making it so that it almost make yourself like invaluable to what it is that you can do for them. So yeah, I think it does take a little while, because that's definitely not something that I think you just get off the bat with like a total stranger. At least I haven't been there. I think if you're people that are really really good, that have been doing it for a long time, like an agency, they can command those types of prices. But this client specifically is for somebody that I've worked with for a couple of years. But we'll get there. I think when there's a few different things that I have in the works right now. And I actually had a really interesting call this morning from somebody who is looking to sell. This is from a second person. They know someone who is looking to sell their business. That's a web design company. Actually, they're going to look to dissolve it, and they're asking if I'm interested in buying it. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll just buy it, no problem. And then just kind of envelop those contracts. So more information on business and growing and getting clients and all that kind of stuff to come. Because I think from what I was told is that guy was doing or did 80K in contracts. So I don't know exactly how that pertains, but that's not too bad. So if I can get those clients as well too, then that is well on our way to our goal of this year of hitting $250,000 in revenue, which is awesome. Okay, so yes, jumpstart your Bricks Builder projects. So let's just see what the description says. The Figma file included. Let me just have a quick look here. Funny, this is like exactly what it is we kind of have here in Figma. You have your hero section. Oh, this one has a little content. Get now, explore, learn more, and then instead of this being a video, it's just kind of an image. But you know, that's the thing with web design. It's don't try to reinvent the wheel. Sometimes just keep it simple and what people understand. Okay,
Brendan, welcome to part 1 of the Bricks Maven video series. I'm going to do a collection of these to understand how to get started and use and design and reuse your Bricks Maven projects. And so in part 1, we're just going to take a look at what Bricks Maven is, how it might help you, and the Figma file. So Brixmaven is very similar to Frames in the sense that they both offer BEM-styled layout components of common layout sections for websites for Bricks building. And so if you've used Frames, Brixmaven will be pretty familiar to you. I'm going to go over some of the differences later on, but we just want to take a look today at Brixmaven, and these are the most recent ones that were added. You can filter them here, and you can search for blocks for header, and that will update here so you can see all the header pages. You can also filter on the side here to, for instance, see all the call to actions.
Yeah.
And you can also preview these. It'll show you the desktop version, tablet, mobile. Everything is nicely styled with BEM classes and ready to style once you've imported them into your project. Okay, so Brixmaven has 3 different options. There is a free version, which I believe was released just today. It comes with a box in here that will speed up your process. That being said, let's jump over quickly to shift gear into one of the sort of secret benefits that
$100 for the year? That is really cheap. That is really cheap. Unless that's $99 a month, billed monthly. That's really cheap. That's almost too cheap. Huh. And it includes support? That's crazy. That's too cheap. This guy needs to charge more. Anyways.
That I didn't even know about. And one of the reasons I didn't really look at Brixmaven because I have Frames. And it seemed like kind of an overkill and a lot of repetition. But I bit the bullet and I got it. And I'm really happy I did, because the other thing it comes with is a Figma file, which can really help speed up your projects. So let's take a look here.
So here we go.
I've imported, once you sign up, you get a .fig file. You just import it here. I believe it's called something like Alpha Library. I renamed it. And so this is the one that I duplicate and then reuse. So we're going to do that. I already have another project here with it. Let's just duplicate it.
So it's not cheap because it's recurring. But it's recurring annually. So, I mean, theoretically, you can buy it for 1 year, download everything, and then just quit and just shut it off. But yeah. But again, the idea as well too is I think money's always relative in terms of how much you're making, right? If your average project is $1,000 and it takes you a week to do, so then you, in theory, say you can do 4 projects maximum a month, and that's $4,000. And if you spend $100 and then you use an application like this that ends up making you work even 20% faster, so you can do 1 extra project a month. So you've already jumped from 4,000 to 5,000 in income by spending only $100. So you're getting like 9 or 10 times X your return on paying for that. So that's pretty cheap. So if a product was to give you $1,000 a month in extra income, then theoretically that product could be worth, 50% of that, 20% of that, or whatever the case may be, right? So that's where the value-based pricing comes along. And I think, and I'll say too, in terms of what you were saying too about like pricing and how to price and get clients to understand your pricing point, you have to start thinking in terms about, it's not about how long something takes me to do. It's about what value am I going to be providing to my client. So with some of my clients, they might be paying me a lot of money, but in actuality, it might only take me 2 hours of work to get something done that they pay me $3,000 for. But the thing about it is that it's not that, I worked for 2 hours, therefore I should only get $200 an hour or whatever the case may be. It's that I provided them with over $2,000 or $3,000 of value. Therefore, me charging $2,000 for that is completely justifiable because that helped them make $10,000 or whatever the case may be, right? So it's a value exchange. It has to be a value exchange that's beneficial for both parties. So that's where it's not just looking at the straight dollar amount, and that's where it's not looking at the straight dollar amount when you're going to be charging a client. And that's how it'll get you from doing those $1,000 to $2,000 contracts to doing those $10,000, $20,000, and $30,000 contracts. It's what can you do to help that client do better in whatever it is that they're doing. So anyways, it's a long rant about, quality and value and money. Yeah, there's a lot of people that talk about this, and I think it's a hard thing, especially for people that have been in business for a while. You hear that as soon as they started thinking about value as opposed to like time and money, then it completely allowed their business to expand so much more. Because if you think about charging per time, the better you are at something, whatever skill it is, then the faster you should be able to do that project. Therefore, the better you are, the faster you'll do it, and then you're going to get paid less. Like, that makes absolutely no sense at all. So like, the better I get at building websites, it's only going to take me a day, whereas opposed it'll take some junior guy or whatever the case may be, it'll take them a week. Therefore, we're both charging $100, $50 an hour. They're getting a week's worth of pay, and I'm only getting a day's worth of pay, even though we did the same work. And quite frankly, if you're doing it in a day and you're more experienced, you're going to do a better job. So why should you get paid less, even though you technically work less? But you also kind of haven't, because you've also had 5 years, 10 years, or whatever of experience behind your belt. So yeah, it's decoupling from that mentality, and it's hard to do, and it's hard to justify to some people as to why your product or whatever costs as much as it does. And sometimes for those people, you're not going to be for everyone, and you're not going to be able to justify those people of why your thing costs a certain thing. And some clients you just can't work with, because they'll never understand the value. They'll only look at it through the lens of, well, I could get my neighbor's kid could do a website for me for $200. Why would I pay you $20,000? It's like, okay, well then go ahead, get your neighbor to do it then, because I'm not going to convince you of the fact that I have 15 years experience building this, whatever, and that I know what you want, and I could do something that'll help you elevate your business to wherever it is you want to go. Anyways, long ramble, but stuff about business that, it's tough to learn and tough to implement, and even harder to get really good at it. So, and I'm still learning. For sure, I'm still learning. Okay. So let's get into what this guy's talking about this Figma. So like, he gets a Figma template from this company or from this Bricks Maven.
You can kind of quickly see
So I think you're saying that when people buy pixel pieces, they'll actually get a copy of the Figma files of the components. Because I think Reloom Library does that as well.
Workflow. I'm not going to do a whole Figma tutorial, and I'm not the guy to do it either. In any case, you open the file, and a couple things. We see here our primary colors. Okay, so the primary red is what you see on the Bricks Maven website as well. If you want to update that, you can change this, and it'll change it for all the components. Okay, so let's just quickly create a new page, my new project. All right, and let's press F for frame, throw that on there. I want to come in here and change the width to 1600. I believe that is what it's using on the project. You can come in here and inspect this and check it out. In any case, let's make this height like, I don't know, 3000. Okay, and there we've got our first page. Let's name this to homepage. And what do we need? We need to, now we add components to this. So come up here to the components. You can also press Shift-I for resources. Components.
Shift-I, that's it.
You can search for this for header. This will pull up all those wireframes from Bricks Maven. Okay, so there is our first component added. We have a header, and you can also change this. Header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4, so on. So let's stick with header 4 for now. It doesn't really matter what we use. And again, we can do the same process, but for the footer. Okay, so go to our components, type in footer, okay, drag that into our frame. Okay, and I don't really have any of my Figma settings set up, so I'm just kind of everything's not snapping into place, but in any case, you get the idea. So again, there's our footer, there's our page component, and let's say we wanted to keep that as our, like, whatever bare bones page, and then we can duplicate that, and we can call this home page, and we can duplicate that again and call this like the about page, duplicate again, call it the blog page, etc. You get the idea. Let's duplicate that, call it the contact page. Okay, so we can change the order of these if we want. In any case, you get the idea that now you have a starting template to go from. You can start adding. We can also choose from any of these. But feature section, that's too big. I don't like that one. Let's make it smaller. Using auto layout, I would recommend checking that and open this up. We can change out our blog section. Doesn't really matter what we use.
So this is interesting because one thing that I remember when I was making the components in Webflow and looking at how other people were naming their components, they were naming them like nav1, nav2, nav3, nav4. And I'm like, I don't like that, because I want to have the names of my navigations be more semantic so that you actually kind of tell what it is just from looking at the name. And this is interesting. When this guy is selecting the different components to add within Figma, it's actually a drop down where it's like header, and then it's like 1, 2, 3, or 4. Where is he? Where was he going? Let's see if we can see where he's doing that again. Yeah, right here. Like he's actually looking at the drop down of what it is. But I guess this doesn't have to be a number. I would imagine this could be, you know, hero section, full width, hero section, image, hero section with whatever, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be a number, because again, it's like, oh, which one did I like again? It's like, I know what it looks like. I know that it has 5 buttons, but was it number 5? Is it number 9? I don't know. So anyways, but that's interesting. So that's really cool. So basically the Figma files that these guys have, and I guess it would be the same thing for the Reloom guys, is those Figma files are in perfect sync with the library, right? This would be in perfect sync with the Bricks Maven library, like the blocks here. Yeah. Which is cool. That's really cool. Let's just watch the rest of this here.
Doesn't really matter what we use. Now, the other benefit here is that you can style these just on the fly, right? I can come in here and it will update. Okay, parent component, right? So do the same for both of those components. So just a quick.
But the question is, what do you do now once this is done? Can you export this into code?
Quickly get started. This is how it's going to be with getting your project into a Figma file and quickly getting out at least the wireframe. Then you can come back and you can further style it up. And there is a good amount of global control in terms of colors. It doesn't use, I believe, it doesn't use Figma variables. It has no additional plugins or anything like that. So it's just, you know, some of this, as again, you saw I had to change some of this stuff manually. So if I have to, is come in here and edit it, light version, right? And 5. So those colors set up. So I think this is a really important workflow enhancement. If you're not already designing in Figma, you should be probably setting this up here, at least to get your structures down, get your flow of the page, what sections are going to have what. You know, sometimes you want to, like, might have this on multiple, whatever you need to do. This comes with Bricks Maven. So anyway, that was the intro to getting started with your project. Probably went a little bit longer than it needed to. There's Bricks Maven. We're going to do project here started. And again, this is just using base Bricks Maven with a couple little edits, very minimal design effort. I just wanted to kind of show the workflow.
Yeah, so this here, this is combination wireframe and design. When you start throwing in colors in here, it's not just strictly wireframing. So he's actually using pre-designed elements to build his pages here on this. So the question I have with this is, yeah, how do you get this from here to your actual site? So yeah, he made his elements in Figma components and created versions. So he builds quickly. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, showing agility. Oh, okay. So okay. So this is actually a video from the guy, like this Brandon guy. If I'm understanding this correctly, he owns or runs Brick Maven. No, he doesn't. He doesn't, because he was saying at the beginning. Yeah, he's checking it out. Right. Yeah. So it's definitely something to think about in terms of having the Figma files as well with the components. It's a good point. It's definitely something that I should think about, but I'm a little hesitant. Okay, here's what I'm. Yeah. Okay, how do I verbalize this? So I think with pixel pieces, let's bring it up here. Let me bring it up on Right. Why isn't this kicking me back to the dashboard? I don't know what's wrong with that bug. I got to figure that out. Right. So none of these components are available as Figma files. But if they were available as Figma files, I could clearly show videos or have videos or create videos that showcase people how they can use Figma and pixel pieces to create wireframes very, very quickly. So that's definitely a benefit there. Yeah. Yeah, I totally see. I see where you're saying, and I see where you're going. Yeah, the normal thing is first you prototype your website, then you create it. Then he just reuses the elements that he created within his prototype, within Figma, to go ahead and just build when he gets into WordPress or whatever the platform of choice is. And then, yeah, you know in advance what it's going to look like. So what I'm thinking here, what's in my mind is the old 80-20 rule, or is it 20-80 in this case, is what are the things that you can focus on the most that'll take the least amount of time but could provide the biggest impact for what it is that you're trying to do. And so what I'm trying to do, at least for now, is I'm trying to slowly build up a collection of components, because the main functionality that I want Pixel Pieces to have is I want it to be a repository where people can join and have access to high quality, very good, whatever, components and templates as well, like full-blown templates where you can have a site up and running. So the thing is I haven't been using Figma. So that's the problem right there, is I haven't been using Figma to make these components, but I am using Figma now to build the templates. So with that, moving forward, I think is what you're saying, Rolando, is because I'm also creating the template in Figma, that once the template is done and it's created and it's live in Pixel Pieces as a full-blown Webflow template, what I could also do to augment that product is to provide the Figma files with the template in case a user would want to do it, would want to use it to, I don't know, test some iterations of their own designs on the fly or whatever the case may be. And the question is, yeah, should I do that in some way? Should I have that capacity? Or should I bring that to Pixel Pieces in some way? And I think it makes a lot of sense. But the only thing is that would mean that I would have to use Figma for everything moving forward, which I don't always do. That's the thing, is I'm not a Figma guy. I think it's, and I'm also like I'm a pencil and paper guy. Like I draw my stuff out. I don't use Figma. I just actually illustrate it by hand, and I prototype that way because I find that even faster than sitting down using any UI wireframe component framework or whatever. But I think a lot of people do. So that's what I need to wrap my head around, is that not everybody works like I work. And the point of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to reach a broad enough audience that I could provide value to them in how they work. So yeah, the 20% that mine, in your opinion, is to make the products known, because once it's known, it'll sell more easily. Yeah. Then that goes with the whole marketing thing. It's got to get one thing out there. Yeah, 100%. Richard, hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, one thing Reloom does well, they do lots of things well. I mean, I'm just starting at this, so they have, I don't know how many years of runway they have in terms of how long they've been in business for. But they do, their Figma files, they provide desktop and mobile views of the Webflow component. So that would be within Figma. Let's go into Figma here. So when they have a page here, do they have an actual, like a different frame that's also the same component in a different frame? I guess that's what you would have to do if it's within Figma, which I've never actually haven't looked at their Figma files yet. More so, yeah, that's it. Okay, cool. More so because I don't want to seem like I'm copying kind of what they're doing. So I'm like, I'm not even going to look because I want to do my own thing here. But yeah, so that is really interesting. So it's a good point, because how hard would it be for me to build components in Figma? It wouldn't be that hard. Again, yeah, I'm old school designer back in the day using Photoshop, but learning how to use Figma here better, I don't think it'll take me very long. I'm kind of software savvy, so I guess that's a good thing. But to make those available as Figma files, I guess it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. But then that could mean that I could spend some time updating and updating some of these components that I have already. And then being able to sync them from Figma to pixel pieces would be really ideal. That would be ideal. Yeah. I'm not copying. I'm getting inspiration. No, for sure. I mean, these guys don't have a monopoly on using Figma in their business, for sure. Yeah, it's always not too much of a concern of mine, but a little bit of a worry of like, oh, another component library person on here. It's, I guess the thing too is, if it were me as a designer and I came across two sites, hey, check out Pixel Pieces, check out Reloom. You don't know anything about the two people or whatever. Forget about the philosophies of how they do business, whatever. But just pick between those two. It's like, well, I look at Reloom. It's like, well, they have way more stuff. They're more involved. They've been around for longer. They have more features and functionality or whatever the case may be. It's like, well, I'm going to go with them. So then I guess in my thinking, it's like, okay, well, what can I do at least initially to at least maybe just try to differentiate myself a little bit? And how can I do that? So maybe that's overthinking it. Maybe I shouldn't do that or have that kind of mentality. I don't know. I don't know where the right way to go and how to approach this. I don't know. That's what we're learning. That's what we're trying to find out. Trying to figure out how do you build this kind of business? How do you build up a business like this? Yeah, I think it's getting that first 50 customers, like actual paying customers, is going to be key. And being able to communicate with those customers, the people that sign up and like are using it, to try to reach out to them and say like, hey, how are you using this? How are you finding this? What could be done better? What could I do that makes this make more sense to you, gives you more value? And at the end of the day, how does this help you make better websites so you can make more money for your customers? Yeah, who cares? Yeah, that could be the answer too. It's like, yeah, the hell with everybody else. Just do your own thing. Yeah, 100%. I like that attitude too. You're planning a bricks course and people, yeah, I'm only going to seek differentiation in the market and the content. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is nobody can bring me and nobody can bring you, Rolando. Like, you're your own person. That's your market advantage that you have right now, is nobody's you. You can't fake someone else's enthusiasm, personality, or just their whole personality. Whether they're fun to be around or not, right? So yeah, no, I like it. Yeah, who cares? Which is why I don't spend too much time. I guess maybe because we're talking about it now, I'm thinking about it. But yeah, I definitely don't spend my days like, oh, I can't do this because these guys. Yeah, no, I don't. I definitely don't spend my time thinking about that. So yeah, point well taken. Okay. So if that's the case, yeah, this is okay. So I'm also torn between like Pixel Pieces is live now, and I'm going to be starting marketing because I've been writing my scripts for the YouTube videos that I'm going to be making. So that's like priority number one. So the question is how much time do I need to spend on updating the components or updating the features or what's involved, or just marketing? And I think right now it's like, I just need to market this thing, right? Let's market it, get people to use it, because there's components here. Like these are good components that I'll be using in projects coming forward. So if people could use it out the box right now, and it's free. It doesn't cost anybody any money to start using this right now. So and let's get those 10, 20, 50 people to start using Pixel and start getting some feedback. No one else has my philias and phobias, as Joanquin Sabina would say. I don't know who that is, but I think I need to find out. Phobia is just like stuff that you're afraid of. Philias, I don't know. I need to put that into Google Translate. Like, is that like hopes and dreams or extreme irritation, irrational fears and aversions to something? Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. That's good. It's one of those things too where we can end up being our own worst enemy. Joaquin Sabina, Spanish musician, singer, composer, and poet. Songs usually talk about love, heartbreak, and society. Ooh, interesting. I should start. I might have to listen to some of his tunes. Cool. Awesome. All right. I love being introduced to new music. All right. Okay. So, so much to think about. Lots to think about. Okay, where do we go? Where are we? Oh my God, it's 3:15. This is great. This is a great chat today, guys. Thank you. Did I fix the HTML semantics of the components? No, I haven't yet, but it's number one on my list of things and bugs because I rewrote the things that I need to do. So I haven't done that yet. So that's probably going to be a task for this weekend, just because I've been busy doing other things. And this is, I guess, part of my problem as well is there's one of me and there's so many different things I need to do. Like I really need to focus my my attention on what I can handle at one time, because I also have clients that I have to service right now. That sounded really bad. Clients that I have to service. Web stuff, just web stuff, I swear. Yeah, so yeah, and I think making the components and the stuff that I have right now, like 100%. So yes, I will get to that soon. Thank you for the push. Maybe focus on the smaller components like button, forms, inputs, blog cards instead of sections. I like that. That's a really good idea. I have thought about that. In terms of, so for instance, with the form, yeah, I like the buttons and I like those little pieces, but the things that the one thing that I did, and this is what I thought of, and maybe you can give me your opinions on this because I could be out to lunch on this. But when I look at this form, so I have my form component here, and this one's missing the radial. I don't know why the radial selections aren't here, but the idea is that in this component, it has basically all the elements. This is not the, am I missing one? I have to do this again because I think I forgot some things. This is actually really good. Because it's just a subscribe form, but I have another form. I know I do. Where did it go? Maybe it's in this contact form. Maybe I should just put this into standard form. But yeah, so like this form has all the different pieces that you would need to make a form. Like it has the text area, message, the text the text area, the input fields for the text, email. It has drop down for selections and then radios and checkboxes. So the idea is if you were to copy this component for Webflow, then you could just remove the ones that you don't need. So instead of trying to make a bunch of little components, it's like this one where people can trim down. But that might be a bad thing because, like you're saying, you might want to, like that might be just too much work, right? You might just want to take this little piece here, add, and then you have a working thing. But the thing with forms is, like you're right too, with the native forms, they're horrible, which is why I'm hopeful that something like this, take this whole form, which has everything you need, and just strip down the stuff that you don't want. So actually, I'll write that down. Actually, let me go into Asana here. And let's go to, what do we want to do? Components and templates. And there's other bugs too that I have to put in somewhere. Let's put this in here. Create featured. Yeah, I hope that's the right terminology. You guys can't see what I'm writing here. Create full featured form as a component. With all possible options, something like that. And that would be a component. Okay. So that's good. So you don't think I'll like it? As almost all their songs are dedicated to women of the happy life, as we say here in Mexico. Is that the saying, like happy wife, happy life? Yeah, I do 100% disagree with that statement. I don't want to get too, into relationship stuff because I'm definitely not a relationship coach or whatever. But I have been married for, my wife is not here. What are we, 2024? I've been married since 2000. Oh, shit. What are we, 2024? I think I was married in 2004, I want to say. Is this our 20-year anniversary coming up? It's something like that. So we've been happily married. We got 2 kids and everything. So if you just make one person happy, it's not just by default going to make the other person happy. You both have to work together to make each other happy. You kind of have to serve each other. Anyway, that's not to say that I won't like any music that talks about whatever romantic stuff. I'm a sucker for romantic comedies and romantic music and all that kind of stuff. Okay. The women who charge for affection. Okay, that's something completely different. Okay, well, never mind then. Well, I'll have listened to it. I'll let you know once I hear. Okay. All right. So I like the idea. Let me go here. So let's go under the idea factory here. You want to do, think about how you would design in Figma and develop into Webflow. Say, and provide those resources to, was it the customers, members? Yeah. Some examples would be to think about how Reloom shares their designs, as well as what was the bricks one? Did I close? Did I close that? Shit. Let me look up in the comments. Oh no, I think that was sent via email. Bricks Maven. Bricks Maven. Right. Okay, so we'll think about that, and then we'll see what we can do. See what makes the most sense, and see if we can figure out how to build a machine that can give us more hours in the day. Because I think that's going to be necessary. Okay. So you love the design I was doing. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. But I think you should take advantage and kill two birds with one stone and show the elements, show the ease of use, and take the opportunity to promote the sale. Yeah, I think once we start making educational videos, kind of like how that video is that we just kind of watched, and if I'm using all of my tools like the Figma and then Webflow or whatever, I think that's going to be an excellent like a marketing opportunity for people to get to know what it is that we do. So I think I agree with you that once I start putting myself out there with the marketing, I think things will start to pick up, and I think people will enjoy it. And the killing two birds with one stone, I just love that analogy, because if you can basically repurpose, number one, if I could repurpose the work that I'm doing, like here in Figma, if I could repurpose this and just like the fact that I have it in Figma and then I can easily just take it into Webflow, it's just going to help me that much faster to do my work. So then then I create the Figma file and then I also create the Webflow template. It's like win-win. So yeah, I love it. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. At least for sure going forward with the what's what I'm looking for. With the templates, with the Webflow templates that we're going to be making. But then I don't know if that's going to be as handy as having the like having all the components in a Figma file, which I think that might be like a slow build. That might be a slow build in terms of like I'll just work on it here and there. Oh, you're filling me with too many ideas now, guys. I like it. Lots to do. Okay. No, there definitely is. I think Kevin showed that to us quite a while ago, actually. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically Figma to Webflow plugin. So it's been around for, I think, less than a year now, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure, but I think there's a thing too that whatever you name your like elements here in the layers panel in Figma, which transfers to the CSS class structure as well in Webflow. So it's going to be, it's going to be a pretty good tool. So this is a really good point here, Richard. I guess it depends on the target audience of who I'm going to be looking for, designers, devs, or even just people, working in Webflow. So I think like my target audience, and this is where I might have a little bit of a problem initially, is that I kind of define it as two different types of audiences that I want to target, at least initially. So maybe this will end up getting weeded out as I kind of put myself out there and kind of seeing how the customer base ends up going. But the first customer I'm thinking is the person that wants a website, that's a small business owner. They're just starting up something, whatever, a coffee shop, or they want to see if they can sell something online or just get a website up for whatever reason. And they don't have money to spend on a website. They even think spending $2,000 is too much money, or $1,000 is too much money. And so what's the minimum they can spend and to get something that looks really good up and running? So I would want them to come to Pixel Pieces, look at the templates, and have these ready-made templates that are ready to go right outside the box, different from like a Reloom components where they're kind of meant specifically for designers. These would be fully built templates that are designed and styled a specific way, with in specific niches that someone can take and cut and paste, like a coffee shop template. You're a coffee shop owner, you just take that, right? So that's the first target audience that I'm thinking about. And then the second one would be more of the Webflow developer that, or maybe see, this is where it's even a little fuzzy, developer designer, where the components that I'm building, it's very much in the vein of Reloom, where they're not fully styled components. They're semantically styled and very well structured components that you can then take to, all you have to do is add in your design to it. And then you have your fully built website, based on your styling or whatever, right? So those are the people that I see using components, because your average Joe, I've never built a website before, might not want to jump into using components, but they for sure would want to jump into using templates. So those are the two different types of audience that I'm going for. And yeah, the marketing for those two are completely different. So that's where it's like, oh my goodness, what do we do now? So yeah. Anyways, and that being said, that's actually a really good point, because if I make a template, say, let's stick with the coffee shop theme. This is welcome to Coffee Co, whatever. Nice pictures of coffees, whatever, espresso. Here's our menu, blah, blah, blah. Contact form, whatever, just like a very simple 5-page thing and template. And why would that coffee shop person want to have a Figma file? I think there's no reason for them to want to have one. That being said, making it available is not going to hurt in case somebody who is a designer wants to do their own tweaks and their own versions. So it's not to say that it wouldn't be a bad idea to do it, especially if I already have it. But chances are they wouldn't want it. Anyways, very interesting. Lots to think about today. This is too deep for a Friday afternoon. This is too deep. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here. Well, let's just finish this thing here. Again, yeah, this here. This is just, again, it's a wireframe. It's not a design here. So this is just a blog post, and we just want to copy that once here. Actually, let's center that to the canvas. No, you're centering to here, not to the canvas. Okay, gotcha. That's okay. And okay. U3 here. I guess we want to align. Can we space it? Why does it do that? I don't know how this align stuff works in Figma. Yeah, weird. Why did it do that? Because if I do that, okay, that centers everything to here. But that's not quite what I want. I want these three guys to be aligned. Distribute. There we go. There we go. Okay. I think you should attack low-budget people and designers working on components with correct HTML semantics, but at the same time prepared with SEO semantics. Yeah, having the SEO stuff right is always important. I gotta fix this thing. So low-budget people and designers. So yeah, and low budget is a relative term as well too, because I think my templates are going to be, again, to join the site, I think it's going to be a $500 lifetime subscription model. So you pay once, $500, you have access to everything for life, including whatever comes up into the future. But for an individual person, yeah, they can come in and buy a template for, I don't know what their costs are going to be. I would imagine they're going to be anywhere between 50 and $150. That's kind of what the standard is. Maybe it'll go a little bit more if they're really in depth and they have like third-party integrations and stuff like that kind of built in somehow. If I could figure out how that's going to work. So I think that's low budget, people. So I think you're right on that. So, and yeah, making sure that everything is, the code is just perfectly semantic and all HTML compliant and all that kind of stuff, and just ready to go with all the SEO. 100% focus on that. So yes, that's what we're going to do. When you talk about semantics, you mean the schema. So when you mean that, I think you mean, so what I was thinking you were meaning is, within Webflow, there are lots of different tools within there that allow you to make sure that you have really good kind of SEO, like your title tags and your meta description and your social description and stuff like that, and your open graph stuff. So that's already built in. So we want to make sure that we have that ready to go for the customers already, for sure. For like designers, especially if they're just designers that are just used to working in Figma and that don't know code. Yeah, of course, they don't know anything about it. So making sure that they're ready to go, for sure. Yeah, so it's the designer that's coming into Webflow, like, hey, I'm a designer, but hey, I could build websites now too. I don't need to have a developer to help me. Let me learn this Webflow thing. Yeah, making sure that everything is ready to go for them, where the HTML is ready to go, the schema is good, and the SEO, yeah, as well. And there's plugins too for Webflow that really help you with SEO as well too. So yeah, 100%. So you're 100% right with that, which is awesome. All right. Okay, so we have our we didn't get very far today. We got the from the blog section. And I think what we need to do, again, from this gorgeous sketch that we did yesterday, we have the blog section. We also have like the video section on the podcast, right? So we want to have, what am I doing? Wrong button. We want to have a podcast section. It's 3:34. Do I have time? I don't think I have time. Pizza Friday today, guys. As you know, Friday is Pizza Friday with the family. So I have to start making some pizza, which I do love. Okay, so here's what we'll do. I'm going to, unfortunately, have to stop it here for today. It's been a couple hours. But what I'll do is we'll continue working on this on Monday. I'll probably, I can't say probably, but I'm going to try my best to work on this this weekend and move it forward a little bit so that hopefully we can finish the wireframe by Monday so that we can actually start with the actual designing process. So we get that done sooner rather than later, because that would be really, really nice. So Richard, you're a designer originally, but when I was getting into Webflow, it helped me just continue the design quality all the way through the development phase. Yeah, you're just kind of like me. I initially started as a designer as well. But I think at the start too, I just had to learn development from the get-go as well too, because I was doing lots of stuff with data, and I ended up being data manager and doing all kinds of data stuff for like my whole career. But so you're saying it helped me. Like, what helped you was the fact that like Webflow helped you, or like just using in Figma kind of helped you make that transition from when you took something in Figma and then you were able to transpose that into Webflow while learning about the development. I think that's one of the most powerful things about Webflow is that it allows people that are solely designers to slowly get their feet wet into the development process. And even for me, like working with code, like I think of HTML and CSS, it's like this second language where I don't have any thought to it. But if you're coming straight from a designer perspective where all you think about is whatever, color typography, and you just design in Photoshop or Figma or whatever the case may be, but you don't code like at all, then I could appreciate the fact that a tool like Webflow just really helps you ease into it and kind of understands how things are going. But that being said, I think I'm wrong. No more talking to devs and how you wanted things to look. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I was thinking of what it is when you have to talk to developers and they don't get it and they're like, oh, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, especially too when you're like, oh, I want this to happen and this, that. They're like, oh, we can't do that. It's like, yes, you can. You just don't want to or whatever. So yeah, and then you're just like, fine. What's the whole Thanos? I'll do it myself, which is really, really cool. And it's what I love too. Like this whole, for me, building pixel pieces. And like if I could just bring up the whole tool here. Well, like building this, and it has some backend stuff. Like it's got member stack to build in the whole like the membership portal and the whole payment processing and all that kind of stuff, and Stripe, and then using Zapier to integrate with. I got some Airtable stuff going on. Like I did this all by myself, and back like 10 years ago, there was no way I could have done it by myself unless I really, like I was using Rails at the time. I still love Rails, but it would take me a significant amount of time to really learn how to program things in Rails to be able to create something like this. Rails is fantastic, and I think you can get up and running making specific apps in Rails pretty quickly. But a tool like Webflow just makes the process just so nice, and it's just such a fantastic tool that makes the development process not so intimidating for designers, and allows us to learn and grow as creatives, which is a huge thing, because us creatives, we just want to create too, and to be bogged down by developers is not always fun. So it helped me learn code, very steeping learning code. So can I ask you, what kind of code have you learned? Like what languages are you fluent in, or that you're or that you like to do? Like I imagine obviously you'd be learning the fundamentals of HTML and CSS and maybe a little bit of JavaScript. I guess if you're, it's coming from the the designer standpoint. GSAP. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of that. HTML and CSS. What's GSAP? I gotta look that up. Oh, an industry standard JavaScript animation library from GreenSock. Huh. I never even heard of it. I never even heard of this. Animate anything. Well, I like to animate things. Anything JS can touch, which is like anything in the DOM. What that's animate anything. That's right. This site is awesome. I mean, for someone that's a designer developer, but for the regular person, they're like, just show me the information. Oh. And does it go back up? Oh, once the animation's done, it's done. Okay. All of this one. No, once it's done, it's done. Okay, but still. Move morph SVGs. Okay. Oh, they even got a nice little effect here. Oh, look at this. This is cool. This is, I'll just geek out about this stuff. When you hover over this, like where it actually starts the animation is where your cursor is. That is, oh man, those little details, just gorgeous. Oh, this is cool. I got to bookmark this and put it in the list of all the things I don't have time to learn how to do. So it's lightweight. Yeah. So when you're using it within Webflow, is it just custom code or like embed? elements that you just, I guess you would have to, unless there's like a plugin. I don't know if there's a plugin for this. Yeah. Sorry, Rolando, comment here a little bit before. Should do a live broadcast of how you manage your time. I mean, yeah, I work. It's just, there's not much else to it. I work and, in the evenings, spend some time with the family, and then I work again. But yeah, maybe one of these days. I think I might have done a few videos where I've talked kind of about how I'm trying to structure my time. But yeah, I'll do something like that in the future. Yeah, so you learned this last year, pretty much. Just add to the page or main code in the settings. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. If you want it to be on one page or not. Yeah. So yeah, Rolando, Richard's asking where you learned how to use GSAP. So I wonder. I imagine there's got to be. You could probably just start. I would start here. If I was going to learn this, this is where I would start. Right here in the documentation, because that's kind of the first place that you kind of learn. Just at my website, my friends. Just at my website. My friends are using. Okay, yeah. And the documents are great. Yeah, I'd imagine if you went on YouTube and just said tutorial GSAP or whatever, you'd be well on your way. Oh, look, they have even a YouTube channel.
Hey, everybody. Zach Shoshay from...
Oh, yeah. Probably subscribe to these guys and then just copy their tutorials, I would imagine. And they got code... they got code pen demos, like, oh, look how easy. What do you you gotta be you gotta call something like within JavaScript though? Like there's gotta be some kind of file that you have to call to at least get the library. Oh, look how clean this is. Here's your class right there, green. It's just rotating. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty simple. That's pretty straightforward. That's cool. Man, I'm telling you, there's stuff that people do online just blows my mind. It's just so awesome. So cool. Yeah, well, here's the installation. Agnostic, yeah, blah, blah. They're just the core. Yeah, so you just have to get the actual core files. And I guess you could, yeah, here it is right here. So you just have this and then away you go. Super simple. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we just saw that. Add the CDN. And then you just use GSAP whenever you're creating your whatever it is. Whatever code that you want. Yes, it is. Yeah, it's a JavaScript library. 100%. Yep. Oh, so some of them you actually have to pay for? Oh, that... Really? But is that... like you have to pay maybe for specific code? But the library itself is free. Shouldn't it just be... Huh. Oh, there is a pricing. Oh, this is bonus plugins. Oh, that kind of sucks. But I guess if they spend all their time making something like this, that they should get paid for. Okay, I thought the whole thing was free, but okay. The core library. Okay, got it. I see. I think if you were, like, for me, if I was... whenever I hire, if I ever get to the point where I hire a first employee to help develop sites for clients, then this would be a tool that I could, like, obviously just buy this. It's like, this is no cost at all for a business anyways. get them to learn this and use this, because this is pretty cool. So what do you get for all this stuff? Physics, custom wiggle, bounce. Yeah. I mean, it beats trying to code all this stuff yourself, all these animations. Okay. But that's cool, though. That's still pretty cool. Anyways, never even heard of it. So I've seen it before. I've seen it on websites. People using all kinds of cool animations. I was like, that's really, really cool. But yeah, so this could be a way that people have done it. So that's cool. That's neat. All right. What time is it? Yeah, now we're almost 4 o'clock. Okay, I do need to run now. Okay, so this weekend, maybe work a little bit on the Figma template, so that on Monday, hopefully we can get that finished, have our wireframe finished, and then we could go from there and we can start designing. And then once we design, we can start bringing that into Webflow. We'll see exactly when we'll be able to do that next week. And if we should design even more so in Figma to really 100% nail down the design, and then we just copy and paste that into Webflow, or if we're going to do our half and half. So we'll have to figure that out and see how we're going to work that. Yeah, Richard, nice to meet you as well. Welcome. I appreciate you dropping in today and your comments. Very nice chatting with you. Yeah, look forward to catching you on the next one. Well, I live stream every day, Monday through Friday. So I'm here every day except on the weekends. So Friday just always happens to be Pizza Friday. So maybe one of these, we should actually have pizza on the stream. Well, no, you don't want to hear me chew. That's kind of gross. But anyways, yes, nice having you here. Rolando as well. Yeah, thank you for joining. Always great to see you here. Enjoy your weekend. Thank you to everyone here who's watching in the future. Hopefully you're having a good one, and yeah, we'll see you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend, and until then, I don't know, just have a good one.